Obviously, the Prime Minister and I have met twice before, and we get along very famously, as you would say, and I look forward to it very much.
It is my pleasure to bring from His Majesty the King a letter.
Thank you very much. Am I supposed to read it right now?
Yeah, please do. You mentioned Canada. I think you're trying to find a divide between us that doesn't exist.
That's enough.
Canada.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about the last big meeting that Trump had with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. He touched down in Washington on Wednesday, and then he met President Trump at the White House on Thursday. The mission to pull Trump back into the Western strategic fold. Keir Starmer had a clear agenda: to reinforce transatlantic ties, to get security guarantees on Ukraine, to discuss US commitment to NATO, and to try to stay in Donald Trump's good books. Now the question is, did he succeed? And what does this really mean for UK-US ties? Let's break it down for you. The meeting kicked off on a positive note. Trump and Starmer couldn't have been more different. Opposing ideologies, contrasting styles, and distinct approaches to leadership. You'd expect a clash. But they were quite cordial.
It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Starmer in the Oval Office. It's a very special place, and he's a special man. And the United Kingdom is a wonderful country that I know very well. I'm there a lot. And I'll be going there, and we expect to see each other in the near future.
One of the headline moments came early on. Starmer presented Trump with a letter from King Charles, inviting Trump for a second state visit, which is quite rare. Trump's last state visit to the UK was in 2019, when he met with Queen Elizabeth II. Getting another state visit invite is not typical, so Trump accepted the offer immediately. He's always had a soft spot for royal pageantry.
It is my pleasure to bring from His Majesty the King a letter. He sends his best wishes and his regards, of course, but he also asked me to bear this letter and bring it to you. So can I present the letter from the King to you?
Thank you very much. Am I supposed to read it right now?
Yeah, please do.
I will do.
I've got to tell him what your reaction is, so I need to know.
He is a great gentleman. A great gentleman. Oh, that's well. That is really nice. I must make sure his signature's on that. Otherwise, it's not quite as meaningful. It is, and that's quite a signature, isn't it? Beautiful.
And from there, it was down to business. There were hits and misses, of course. Let's start with the hits. What did Starmer get? The first was trade. A US-UK trade deal is on the table. Donald Trump says it could happen soon, which means the UK has successfully dodged the tariff hammer.
I think there's a very good chance that in the case of these two great friendly countries, I think we could very well end up with a real trade deal where the tariffs wouldn't be necessary. We'll see, but he earned whatever they pay him. He earned today. He was working hard at lunch, and I'm very receptive to it. I think in all fairness, in all seriousness, I think we have a very good chance at arriving at a very good deal.
Another hit was the Chagos Islands deal. This is an archipelago in Mauritius. It used to be a British colony. Britain had leased the Chagos Islands, but now they're set to return it to Mauritius, the entire archipelago, except for one island, which is the island of Diego Garcia, their biggest island. The UK and the US have a joint military base there on Diego Garcia, and the UK will continue to control this island. This is the deal. It's all but final. Washington was reportedly not happy about it, but now the US president is inclined to back the deal. So that's good news for Keir Starmer. Now let's talk about the misses. The first was on Ukraine. Starmer began the discussion by praising Trump. He said, that only Trump could seal a peace deal. After the flattery came the plea. He asked Donald Trump to promise US military support. Trump dodged the request. He said the mineral deal was the only guarantee the Ukrainians needed.
I mean, as you know, we've already indicated that we'll play our full part in making sure that any deal, if there is one, and I hope there is, and I think this is a historic moment to make sure it's a lasting deal, and we're about to have a discussion about how we can make that work.
But I have to say this, as I said yesterday, you're talking about a peacekeeping force. We have to make a deal first. Right now, we don't have a deal.
To Starmer's credit, he did try, but Trump did not give in. He treated the meeting like a one-man Broadway act. He even cut Keir Starmer off during a question on Canada.
You mentioned Canada. I think you're trying to find a divide between us that doesn't exist. We're the closest of nations, and we had very good discussions today, but we didn't discuss Canada.
Thank you.
So some wins, some losses, and some back and forth. Like in this case, remember what happened at the Munich Security Conference. US Vice President J.D. Vance was there. He spoke and he condemned free speech violations in the UK. So yesterday, Donald Trump was asked about it. He passed the mic to J.D. Vance, and Vance doubled down on his stance. But Keir Starmer was having none of it. He fired back. Listen to this.
But we also know that there have been infringements on free speech that actually affect not just the British. Of course, what the British do in their own country is up to them, but also affect American technology companies and, by extension, American citizens.
We've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time.
Ultimately, this visit achieved one key goal. Keir Starmer survived the unpredictable currents of Trumpian diplomacy. Did he register wins? Well, you could count the trade deal, but no luck with Ukraine.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogon, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically, in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.